What's up, Jeff? We're getting ready to go. Whoa! Welcome to the Motley Croc Show. We had a power surge. Let me bring in the Manic Satanic. So we had a power surge. A power surge. I had everything set up, and then all of a sudden, dude, like this huge power surge hit, and everything went boom black, and I'm like, oh no, not tonight, not tonight. And then it came back on, but it took a little bit longer for the Wi-Fi to catch up with the blast. Anyways, how are you?
Good, man.
How you been?
I've been good. It's been a good week. Busy. Spent the week in the ER working, not, convalescing. And Snake started to pip again today, so I got some new babies.
Nice.
What's
up, Heidi?
I've been seeing someone, so that's pretty awesome.
Oh, good, man. Good.
Yeah, life is good.
So what's up, Michelle? So they watch this show and they're like, yeah, well, we're gonna let him go.
They all love the Manic Satanic,
They love the Manic Satanic. I guess you got a valid point. My sister's coming in soon, I guess, and so is Jimmy. Said he'd be a little bit behind, but that's cool. How's the rest of the week going for you, other than being busy? I mean, I've had my own fair share of ups and downs this week, but hey.
Good, man. Good. Just kind of waiting for Ruby to get back from Vermont. She comes back in a couple weeks, and
wonderful.
Getting the house in shape, making sure the snakes are good to go. Yeah, no, it's been good, man. I can't complain. Although
that's really awesome.
I did have a $5,500 snake get eaten by a female this week, so that was kind of a bummer. But
wow,
I try not to let it bother me too much, man. His first time breeding too. That was the low light of the week right there.
That really sucks.
Yeah, man. They never eat the cheap ones. I could put a $150 male in there, and they'll leave them alone all day.
Well, one of my a friend of mine had one of his monitors eat one of his albino alligators one time.
Oh, that sucks, man.
Yeah,
that's worth probably way more than my snake.
Yeah, I don't know. They're like 15 to 20,000 a hatchling, I think, something like that.
That's what I figured. They're badass, though.
Cool. Bumblebee.
Yeah, this was what up, babe?
Hi.
This was a leucistic male, and leucistic hogs are fairly
Hi, Rachel. Hi, Michelle.
What's up, Rachel?
Hi, Heidi.
Hey, Rachel.
Trying to say hi to everybody. Catch up on.
We should. Yeah, we're running good. I just
hey, Heidi, Michelle, Holly.
First of all, Jimmy's not allowed to be running late and use that whole excuse. No, that's my gimmick. I'm the one who's allowed to be like a couple minutes late. Saying hi, Heidi.
I like your wild hair, Britt.
Thank you. It's called I got out of the pool with my kids and I didn't give a crap.
Nice. I figured you ran here in a windstorm, but I was close.
Yeah, my bangs they're getting long again. Oh, thank you. That is so sweet.
Well,
thank you.
I agree, but I kind of thought Jess was cuter.
I don't know. I mean, Brittany's younger.
Yeah, not by a lot though.
Who's that for, Heidi? Is that for Jeff or I?
That's
better be me.
It's for Jeff.
Better be for me.
I think Brittany looks hotter than I do tonight.
I swear to God, it'd be so funny if like I signed on one Thursday and Jeff had like a blonde wig on and stuff. It was, hi guys, I'm Britt Investigates.
That's right. That's me, B-Rat.
Yeah, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
Hey, Jeff. Hey, Seth. Yeah, okay.
What's up, Seth?
But we're all cute. I'll take it. Thanks, Heidi.
We'll put Brittany.
Thanks, Heidi. We appreciate it.
Why?
You're up top because you're the best one. I want to see him. I mean,
whatever. Oh my God.
I'm serious. Why not?
No, because I'm not leading the show. This is your show. I should.
We're all leading the show.
Put me back down on the bottom.
So, huh?
Just kidding.
Thank you.
I'm fine.
We're all cute.
Yeah, we're all cute.
I appreciate that. So I was kind of spitballing. I was talking this week to just to some friends and my mom. We were chatting. So I'm going to start. I'm going to start some artwork. I'll get with Brittany too, but I'm going to start a clothing thing with some of the stuff that we do.
Michelle. My God.
Anyways, I'm going to start some stuff. It'll be the Motley Croc Militia, and I'm going to have a line of hats and shirts and stuff with some of our sayings like the Manic Satanic and all that kind of stuff, and I'll whatever kind of logo Jeff likes. Like I figured we would do some sort of I kind of want to do like, since he's Jewish, the Star of David with like an upside down cross in the center.
I love it, man. A pentagram of David.
Pentagram, and it's going to say Manic Satanic, Motley Croc Militia. That'll be a Jeff series. So I'm going to do a whole bunch of different
Nice.
That's going to be fucking rad. So we'll get the artwork, Jeff. I'll throw some stuff your way, and then I'll show it to you. Tell me what you like. And Brittany did real good with the sticker pack, but I think if I start doing the Motley Croc Militia stuff, I'll have like, I'll have a group of people that kind of see things the way we do and stuff. And I mean, don't misinterpret what we say.
Hey, Michael.
Hey, what's up,
Michael? Michael's been here from day one. He's always here. He's always glad to see him. Thanks, Michael. I appreciate that. Rachel, yes, I hope we can pull that off. It'd be fun. Yep, that's why I labeled the show "May the Fourth Be With You," Dan. Dan is outside right now cleaning out crocodiles and big snakes. I saw him a little bit ago, and he had a big python around.
Dan.
Holly.
Hi, Dan. May the Fourth be
Holly,
with you,
I'll
man.
do some stuff. Some of the stuff, if you want to see some, just some basic stuff, if you go to crocstar.tv, www.crocstar.tv, and you go to my clothing line, you click if you go into the bottom tab, just click the what is it? What did I label that as? The abrasive collection, and you'll see some of our kind of twisted stuff that everybody's like, oh, I should take that down. Well, fuck you, I'm not taking it down. We're gonna use it.
Hey, Judy.
Well, we got some fun stuff. She could make a wig for you, Jeff.
Yeah. So Victoria is the one that I have been seeing. She's the
hello, Victoria. Nice to meet you.
New girl. Very cool people. Tattooed, smokes weed. What else is there to ask? She's a freak.
Good, man. That's good.
Well, she said she can make that wig happen. So, Victoria.
Oh, hell yeah.
I just think one Thursday we should have some fun on the show. I'll come as Troy.
We'll all come dressed as each other next Halloween.
Yeah. Oh, man. The show, I'll come on.
You better start growing your beard, Troy Riffle.
Yeah, there you go. That would be awesome. Brittany, you got to come as Jimmy Riffle.
You want me as Jimmy?
Oh, my God. That'd be great.
My Brittany's her middle son came as me for Halloween, and they bought him this whole stick-on beard that was really long and braided. It looks so cool. He looks just like
that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, I did that. I drew all the tattoos like on his. He like did not want to take Crocstar off his fingers for days. Like
I know, it's so cute that he did that because
everyone
would put that on themselves permanently. It's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, you guys might have worked together, Troy. She was a character at Universal at Halloween Horror Nights, and now she's somewhere else.
Yeah, what year?
What year would that have been?
The last few, I guess. Wait, I'll find out.
No, she's here. She'll tell us eventually. I know there's a little bit of a lag, but it'll come back in.
I was let's see, 2000. Let's see.
Years ago. I want to see that, Holly.
6. I was like in. No, I take that back. I started 2004. So 2004, 2005.
So the first one I did, 9. I did was 03.
Yeah, I came in the year after you. I started in 04. You did 03. I did 04.
Yeah,
you did 04 again, didn't you? Didn't we work the same?
You did the motorcycle thing, right, Troy?
That was in 2017. Me and a couple of our stunt riders did the purge, and we rode the dirt bikes through.
That's right. That's right.
What's rad, man? Fucking awesome, bro. Let me tell you something. Of all the things, I'm not going to bullshit. I've got to do a lot of cool shit in my life, but that was up there with at least in the top 10. I mean, to ride a dirt bike through a theme park in a crowd, and get yelled at all the time by this guy named Dan. He can fucking suck it. I hope he's watching. You fucking idiot. And they were telling us stuff, whatever. But we want to make it look right. So the way they first did it was like, oh, you can't do this, and you got to walk your fuck off. You want to make it look good, you do what you got to do. And so we had a really good time doing that. So she said she worked 20 on the screen.
So she came a year after you, Troy.
So you did a year out. No, she did a 19. So it was like
18 and 19. Yeah, the year after.
She did 18 Hall of Scream. So a year after me, and then went to 19, 21, and 22. That's cool. Are you going to do 23? I thought about going out there, but if they're not going to, I was talking. I have really good friends out there that have been in management for I don't want to date them, but now close to 26 years. So they're in upper entertainment management now. And they said there's some stuff coming up, and they're going to let me know about, what if there's going to be what I like to do involved. And if there is, and I'll go out and I'll take one of my friends. I think one of the alligator trappers for Pasco County, I believe, Benny, he wants to come out and try too. And he'll get, he's like a Spider-Man kind of guy. He's real lean and shit. And he'll get casted somehow. And, if it's something I want to do, I'll definitely do it.
Jimmy.
What's going on, everybody?
The riffle.
That's
I've
the
even
thing,
talked riffle into possibly doing that with me.
He should do
Because you
horror.
can
He
pick
should
your-
do horror nights.
You can pick your
Well-
days, and then me and Jimmy could go out there and chase people with chainsaws all day. And with Jimmy's hair down, if he
Wow,
wanted
we
to
must be talking about Halloween Horror Nights.
with his hair down,
Listen.
they'll say, "Here you go. Here's your
Troy-
prop. Go fucking terrorize."
I don't think you
Troy-
should have an alligator on a leash, is what you should have.
Troy,
Dress up
Troy
as
and
some
I,
fucking-
we started though in like the good years, like when we could really chase people, which was awesome. Like when we started in Halloween Horror Nights, that's when like you could still chase people into places and you could still do things like. Because I stayed with Halloween Horror Nights from 2004 all the way till 2011, and I quit. Like, because I worked 1 year in Hollywood too. I worked Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood, and then I came back. Like they transferred me and brought me back. And Troy knows over the years doing each Halloween Horror Nights, it just would get a little bit worse every time they would take one thing away. And then like in 2009, they came up with this whole idea called the Boo and Skidoo, and it was like the worst design ever because they'd want you to like jump out, scare, and get back into your spot, but they would keep spots open. So numerous times I remember calling Troy. I was like, yeah, this guy, remember the guy, Troy, that like tried to break my nose and I was sent to the health.
I do.
Remember that guy? He came around and he
Like
caught.
your nose?
Oh yeah. I used to get punched and kicked. And I mean, we were terrorized back in the day. It was bad. Like there was only so many years I could take to where I was finally like, okay, by 2011, I was done. 2011 was the year like I called Troy and Troy's like, he tried to do a kill shot on you basically. Like he literally like was trying to break your nose.
So she said
This
they
guy
don't hire,
was just,
so Victoria said they don't hire tattooed characters anymore at Universal. That's interesting. I've never heard that. So I'm definitely
oh, that's
gonna look-
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard of that before.
We're gonna lose everybody then for sure.
Yeah,
she-
you're gonna lose all of entertainment.
Awesome, Rachel.
Look,
Yeah,
I don't
we all
want
gotta
I don't
go
want to
to,
be I don't want to be mean, but our entertainment at Universal started hitting a major effect when Disney Entertainment came over. That's all I'm gonna say. We were the aunt and uncles, the cool aunt and uncles, until mom and dad came over, and then everything kind of started getting a little too tight. So if they're eliminating people with tattoos, then that's not cool.
She said on hands and neck, but most people are in prop gear, so I'm not sure how they could get away with doing that in the slanders,
Well,
unless
especially with like masks
I
and
have the
stuff.
bylaws. I have the bylaws that they do and don't there. I still have the book, and
Yeah.
it was current up until this year. You can't have anything like profanity, like things
Oh,
where
of course.
you could wash off and it would be like, a vagina or something like that, or fuck you, or
Can't say like fuck Mickey
fuck off
across
Jimmy
your
Riffle,
forehead.
or like
I don't think that's gonna
you
work.
across your forehead, or like Ricky's got fuck you on his knees and shit like that. I
Oh
remember
man, that's terrible, Victoria. Man, you should have worked it back in the day. Girl, you would have loved it. You should have been there with the old crew. You would never wanted to leave. It was so fun. You would have loved it. We'll have to shoot the breeze one day and talk stories.
That's too bad because that was one of the things. That was kind of like, I mean, I did get in trouble one year. I think it was I worked. I think it was it 16? I worked. I think 2016. I worked Hollow Screen at Busch Gardens, and I got in trouble because they dressed me up in this mirrored room, and I was this like terror clown. It was really fun because I was like this, and a bunch of dead baby dolls hanging from their feet, dribbling pee and stuff, and all kinds of stuff.
Well, she just sent me a link, Troy, that I'm going to send you.
Yeah, let's look at it because that's just messed up, man. That's terrible to hear, Victoria. Way to burst my bubble. But I don't care. See, it's not like it's not like it's going to be the end of the world,
Right,
right. But
No,
they yelled at me
that's
for
just sad.
using the word tubby because I yelled at some fat kid.
Really? I've heard you use way worse words.
Well, because he was like stopping in the hall and he was like telling him like, "Come on, Tubby, get moving." They're like, "Oh, I get this. Step out, sir." Then they switch me to another clown. They're like, "You can't be calling people Tubby." I'm like, "What the fuck, man? We're in a room where baby dolls are peeing on people's necks." And I can't.
Right.
It's not like I said, "Hey, you fat degenerate, you fat fucking kid, kill yourself." I didn't say that. I just said, "Let's roll, Tubby." I was being a horror clown. Am I supposed to be nice? Come this way. God bless. Jesus saves. Step along.
Dude, they
Oh,
hate
that
baseball
might not be in
dungeons.
entertainment though. These guidelines might not be in entertainment. Victoria, is that strictly entertainment? Because I know in entertainment we're allowed to get away with a little bit more with eccentric tattoos. And piercings and stuff.
Well,
So I think
always
this
the same
guideline.
because they're subcontracted. When you go into Universal Studios, I believe that the scare stuff is all subcontracted to Universal. You are a Universal employee, but you're not. You're like part of their sub. You have to follow their guidelines, but sub. I don't know. So she said it's across the board now. So that's crazy. I had no idea.
That might be new of this year then, because like half my friends at entertainment, they're all covered in tattoos, like neck.
That's wild.
So they would lose their job.
Because when people are walking around dressed as Spider-Man or Jimmy Riffle or Transformers or anything like that, just making sure. And I don't think they would. I don't know if they could see that, but I guess if you're out in the general public or whatever, I guess it would be a problem. But I don't care. I'd rather not work there. It doesn't bother me. Yeah. Because, I mean, I got my tattoos are for a different reason, anyways. I'm not a trendy tattoo guy, so like we've talked about this before. Tribal tattoos and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, that sucks.
See, now that's a little bit different. But then again, I wonder how they're doing that because, like, you can go to major conventions, and I've had to deal with this before with branding because I do different things and there's angles. Like you can paint any character you want. You can do whatever you want. Just change a little, and you can consider it fan art. Right. So that would be a loophole too for tattooed fan art.
Yeah, but they're doing a commercial. It's for commercial gain. So I think that's a whole different set of rules. Because they're for financial gain rather.
It'll be pretty tough to find people because all the people that do that horror stuff are pretty much all tattooed. That's
and not they're all like true horror fans. That's why they do it. There's a cult there.
It won't last long. There'll be a loophole. They'll fix it. There's no way you'd lose people.
They won't have employees for it.
That's like saying right now we're going to go into the hospital industry and we're going to eliminate everybody that's got tattoos because we don't like it.
They did up until 2021.
You lose all your staff.
You couldn't have any visible tattoos till 2021.
I don't care if you use the word tattoo. I don't care if it's invisible or visible. If it's on your back under your shirt, if you don't hire Jeff because he's got one on his arm and this one has it there, tattoos are tattoos. I don't give a fuck. So that means they have to follow the same guidelines. I don't care if they tattoo their nutsack or their fucking neck. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it was because COVID, there was such a shortage of healthcare workers. They would hire anybody, man. A warm body that knew something, that had a license.
And yes, I do know that Howler Scream at SeaWorld was done too. Well, that's good. SeaWorld will do it. They kind of need it out there, man. That place is a fucking. You've been out there in a while.
It's just I've never been to SeaWorld.
It used to be cool back in the 90s when I used to work there.
Yeah,
now it's like you go out there and
fun.
I was just there and it was nice. SeaWorld was nice when I was just there. I enjoyed it.
Because you're like the Aquaman of alligators.
Well, you just like animals. If you had seen it in its prime, you would understand what I'm saying.
Okay.
You would understand. Like there were rides out there. They closed that big Arctic ride. Now you can only walk up to the ice now. Used to ride.
They don't have polar bears anymore either. They're all gone.
Used to take you like you were going into it was just unbelievable, man. All my friends were trainers. They like, come on in, man. And we'd all go in there and they'd jump down in. They'd river dance on the bottom of the walrus tank and with the belugas and all that shit.
Belugas.
It was so cool, man. It was so
That's
cool.
Awesome.
So cool. So it's just none of the theme parks seem to be what they were before.
But they're worried about liability and everybody's so sue happy these days. People trip and fall, and it's the first thing they think of. What's that?
We'll talk about sue happy off camera.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, but we're going to talk about something when we're done.
Uh-oh, cool. I can't wait to hear it.
SeaWorld pre-Blackfish was a much, much different entity.
It was a much different experience.
Much different.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
I mean, they just because I think there's so much everything is so wishy-washy and everybody's so pussy about everything and you can't have a tattoo of Beetlejuice and work here now. That's fucking just dumb. I mean, what the fuck is going on with the world, man? Let's give everybody something for free.
Well, and don't forget too, Troy, remember when Don passed away, laws immediately started changing even with the whales. Remember that?
I will, as soon as Brittany gets those done, Rachel, I will for sure link you up for something. I'll take care of that.
Oh, it's like those stickers. Everybody likes the stickers.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, is anybody else lagging real bad or is it just me?
No, you're lagging a little. I think are you having some bad weather or do you want to bump off and come back in?
No, my weather is fucking beautiful for the first time in a long time.
Sometimes there's a glitch. If you want to jump off and jump back on, sometimes it'll fix that. Like, get off, turn your Wi-Fi off, and bye, Jimmy. Turn it back on, it'll probably work. Molly says, guys, keeps cutting on and out. I'm halfway to
Christchurch on the road trip.
I'll be Australia in 4 days. Wow, cool. Good for you.
Have fun.
That's awesome.
What is
that's
Christchurch?
cool.
I'm kind of scared to ask.
Good, you'll finally be somewhere. Christchurch is a place in New Zealand. Australia, no, New Zealand, right? Yeah.
Holly, later on, just log in. I always upload the show. Just log in, and we'll get you fixed up. What's up, Beginner's Guide? Good to see you.
What's up, beginner?
But yeah, so with that being said, with all that other stuff, everybody's just getting too out of control with shit. Like all the fun's gone, but I've noticed that there's been a fade to a lot of that too. Like all this, I don't care, man. Maybe I don't want to be there anyways because I really don't like human beings, to be honest with you. Maybe I don't want to run around and scare them and smell their farts and their sweat and fucking deal with them.
The thing is that really makes me mad though is like what they have to understand is that there's a difference. Like as you know, Troy, like I worked daytime entertainment, Halloween or daytime Universal Entertainment, and I worked Halloween Horror Nights. And there's a big difference between both parties of entertainment. There's the Universal regular 24-hour crew entertainment, and then there's just the ones that come out specifically for Halloween Horror Nights. Like they are a specific group, and there were veterans. Like I was a veteran, and we looked forward to those castings in that time because
y'all lined up with your people.
Right, like there's just a genuinely different group of people that come for HHN, and if you start eliminating and making it like, just too much Disney, you're going to lose people. Like, that's just not what it was. It's never been that way. That's why Disney has their Mickey Mouse Boo Bash or whatever. And Halloween Horror Nights was a different group of people.
It's called the Not Scary Halloween. Now get that right, Brittany.
Whatever it's called. I don't know. They were, listen, growing up entertainment, that was the rat house. Like that was.
You beat up your boo.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, Mom. We did get away with almost anything. Mom used to get so mad because I would get off shifts at working like entertainment as Woody Woodpecker, and I would come over to Men in Black where she was, and I would pick up like an end of day shift just to work with her. And like the managers would go, "Here, take this broom," and just walk around and like talk to people and sweep. And I would look it down, and Mom would just get so mad because I'd be like off talking to people and like just randomly sweeping, and she's down there and riding show, like getting people. Because if entertainment like just picked up these side work jobs, like just for extra hours in park, we couldn't do anything that we're not trained on. So we couldn't do ride and show work because we're not trained, but we could help partake in the ride and show locations, like at a show and do sweeping or hanging out or entertaining in a sense while doing so. So Mom used to, she just like, we would get on rides dressed in our Men in Black attire because we were entertainment. And Mom would just be like, seriously? Like she would just get so mad. Like I would come with a group of my friends from parade. We'd be done with parade, and like we would all just hang around in Men in Black and just torture Mom and be like, "You good down there in Q? Are you good?"
Oh, Men in Black almost made me throw up.
See, no, you didn't do anything but play. We were.
That ride can spin a little bit out of whack sometimes.
Yeah, it spins so much, dude. I was like, I can't even shoot stuff because I can't even see.
Yeah, when they start shooting at your vehicle, man, it's fucked up.
Yeah. It's
but I still like getting a little stoned and going on the in Walt Disney, going to Animal Kingdom and riding dinosaur. Fucking,
that's awesome.
You can't experience that ride unless you're a little baked. I mean, you can do some dough ball, Jimmy.
You want to have fun stoned? The Simpsons ride. Universal.
Yeah, that's fun too. But then you get off and I feel wheezy. I'm like, oh man.
The Simpsons one.
The way they film it makes you kind of.
Yeah, it can make you a little dizzy.
You know what I mean?
And
it's
so smells and shit.
And the smell, yeah. It's just.
I miss Back to the Future.
You miss Back to the Future? I do too. I think somewhere along the line they're going to try to bring that back.
They need to. They really need to.
They're not getting rid of the money, are they? I love the money.
No, they're updating it.
They already revamped it. It's already done.
Is it
really?
Done now?
I gotta go check it out. We'll have to take a trip. Victoria wants me to come up, go to Universal and go to Halloween Horror Nights too. So if you guys want to take a road trip, a little show road trip,
I'll go up there. I'm there too. I go to Universal Studios pretty much once a week anyways and hang out.
Oh, cool.
I go there before work. I just go hang out at work. We go ride rides and we just go do
that's rad, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I still got to ride the Hulk. It was closed for so long. I haven't gotten to ride it yet.
The Hulk.
You don't do that shit. I don't do any of that stuff.
That roller coaster. I don't do roller coasters much anymore, but the Hulk, bro, that bitch is badass.
Oh, dude, I never rode a roller coaster until I moved to Florida in 2015, and my kids dragged me on Space Mountain.
Yeah,
Needless to say, I was fucking terrified. And like by the end of the ride, we were getting right back in line. I was like, "Woo, let's go again!" And then that was it. And I rode every roller coaster I could.
It was blacked out. That one was blacked out originally. And
yeah, it's still blacked out.
Forced to turn the lights on because somebody got injured or something.
Oh, really? That sucks.
Is it even there anymore?
Yeah, it was. It's like a staple.
Space Mountain, is that still at?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's still pretty dark.
I like Space Mountain.
I like Space Mountain.
I like. I thought they turned the lights on and it was a different effect. I thought, but I could be wrong.
I haven't been on it probably in like 5 or 6 years. And then we rode the Tower of Terror, which was fucking awesome too.
MGM.
Nope.
Love the Tower of Terror, man.
And what was the old one? Thunder Mountain Railroad?
Oh, they still have it.
Thunder Mountain's still there.
That was the first one I ever rode, dude. I rode that actually back when I was a kid, but that was the only one.
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is like that.
Oh,
I love the Mine Train.
Mine Train's awesome,
ride.
dude.
I don't think I've ever done that.
The Mine Train's great. Really good little ride.
Oh, I don't know if I've ever done Magic Kingdom.
Oh my God, Jimmy.
Oh, me too, Heidi.
Yeah, Jimmy, it would scare me.
We need to have like an adult day at Disney because it was so fun because literally like when we rode it, the carts like swing independent of what the track is doing. They are like they swing independently while they move. So it's so fun. So like it's like imagine doing Big Thunder and having the caboose that you're sitting in moving all independently by itself. It's so fun.
I like the at Hollywood Studios, the Aerosmith Rock and Roller Coaster.
Oh my God.
That was my first loop and I fucking loved it.
I'll tell you, that is one of the only roller coasters in Florida I've ever rode. And I got talked into that. I think it was like 97 or 98 with a couple of my buddies, and I had a good time in there. I don't think I could do it now, though. I'd be all fucking sick. I actually I was at Universal with Flavia last year, and he did the Hulk, and he loved it, but he got off, and he was like beat purple. He's like, I don't think I can do that anymore.
Oh, man.
He's like, I'm really messed up. He had to sit down, and I was like, oh, shit. She said Rock and Roller Coaster is closed. Amanda Brinkley, that sucks.
No.
Isn't it because someone's accusing Steven Tyler of doing something he shouldn't have done? And because he's in it? Yeah, they're playing that game.
They're probably going to have to revamp
Pretending he's a man.
Well, they're going to have to get rid of every rock star, every song ever done, and everything was done.
It's funny. Whenever we're around John, you need to ask John my first time on Rock and Roller Coaster.
Oh, I went on with one of my kids.
Felt so bad. I had such a panic attack. Like I had a full blown, like real panic attack.
Is it the red one at Universal?
No, Rock and Roll.
It's at Hollywood.
It's at the Hollywood Studios by
Disney.
It's
short.
It was Aerosmith.
It's fast as fuck.
Okay.
You're in
and
a
it takes off like the Hulk.
Yeah, you're like in a limo, and you're going through LA, but you're going through like LA and shit upside down, and it's like this roller coaster, indoor roller coaster. It's
badass, dude.
I will say I love going upside down. Like the loop is the best part. Like I love that. And I loved going down, like, because once you get past the loop, everything's really simple. It's a simple coaster and it's fun.
Yeah.
But you have to get so much G-force when you shoot forward to get into
like
the loop.
60 miles an hour or something that comes shooting out of there.
Dude, you feel like your skin has ripped off your skeleton and back on. Like I didn't like that feeling. That part got me.
That's the way the new Velociraptor coaster is.
And I don't ride it.
Disney, they've got the new Guardians of the Galaxy, and that is supposed to be like insane.
I want to do it, but I don't think I'm going to do it.
We should do a roller coaster.
You know what else that's out? Tron. That I'm doing.
Oh, fuck yeah. I got to do Tron, man. I grew up on Tron.
I got to do. I love Tron.
Talking to people, and they were saying that if you're too big or too small and you can't fit on the bikes, that you can't go.
Yeah, you have to fit.
Oh, man. I'm glad I lost some weight. I don't want to be too big.
They can't pull you out from those two pieces that you sit in your little car, your little cycle that you drive around with the little flag on it says too lazy to walk. and it's got like this big arm. If you're squeezed and your cheek sticks back, you can't ride it. That's what I heard.
They have the test thing out front for you to sit in because the back has to click you into the motorcycle. Because if you look at like the back of the motorcycle,
like
it has your blade, whatever they called that. What was that called? Jeff, what was the name of it?
The blade, the throwy thing, the disc.
Yeah, they're disc, but they had a name for them. Anyway, when the bike comes down on you, the disc it goes right on your back and it lights up. So your whole bike lights up, but it's two different colors. It's the orange and blue, and you go against each other. I'm doing it. Like there's
Identity
no question.
disc.
Identity disc. That's what it was. I just love Tron. Like
when I was a kid, it was funny. I was playing hockey at the time, and I'm looking at the costuming, and I'm like, oh my God, they're wearing fucking hockey helmets. Like in the original Tron, they're all wearing hockey helmets that have like the neon everything on them.
I just loved the outfits. I loved how they all would
because
glow.
Everything is getting so advanced that slightly off topic, but interesting with digitizing and making everything because they're adding digital to the roller coasters now. So you're flying through, they're enhancing it with sound, wind, and then digitizing. So like you may look like you're really going to do something or go through it. It's so digitized and so clear. Like say it's going to crash through a wall or whatever. It literally goes through the wall and gives you that instant blast of air. So everything's digitized. And I just read, and I think I might have sent it to Brittany, that they had what's his name, William Shatner from Star Trek. For those of you who don't know, William Shatner, he was an older actor. He's like 90 now or something, but he was answering hundreds of questions, and they're digitizing him so that he can live forever. And his family's going to be able to go in and talk with him and ask any question they want, and he'll be able to full-blown conversation with them. Wow, just like crazy. Kim and I went to do one of her school projects at the Salvador Dali Museum. Well, they brought Salvador Dali to life. So it's this big screen that looks like a door, and the door opens into this big room, and you look in the room, and he stands up and walks up to you. How are you today? And it's Salvador Dali, and he talks to you the whole time. Does a selfie with you. It's weird. So I forget his name. The Asian gentleman that he's a doctor for like UFOs and science and biology.
Yeah, he's got a really cool name.
He has now his hair's got long and white. It's like Jimmy's length, but it's white. It used to be black.
Oh,
but anyway,
yeah.
Yeah, he was talking with Joe Rogan about it. And,
I know.
We'll all be digitized. And so in the future, you'll be able to have conversations with your great grandparents all the way back to when they start digitizing.
Yeah, but some of your family, when they die, you're like, I don't want to talk to them anymore.
but like Jeff could be digitized, and Ruby could go, and Ruby could talk to him forever.
I think it's Michio Kaku. I know I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Michio Kaku.
Michael put it right. Thank you, Michael.
Michio Kaku.
So yeah, Michio Kaku. But so that way, like, because he has children, so Jeff could be digitized, and then Ruby's children, Ruby's great and great aunt can talk to Jeff about what it was like to tattoo or be in the medical field before they didn't need that anymore because now lungs are, 3D printed. You know what I mean? So there's like they'll be able to talk to him, and he'll be able to answer everything that up into his last years of his life, which is you'd be like, Dad, how'd you feel about me? And he'll be able to say, you're the greatest thing. I mean,
you're a little asshole.
They go with that too, but they go right into. They ask you hundreds of questions, and then they digitize you, and you'll actually walk into a room. So they were filming them in like different directions. So like if you're like, hey Dad, he'll walk into the room. He can either come from the side or the door and sit down, and then you start talking, and he talks to you. That's crazy. I was telling. Obviously, it's not the real deal. I was telling my mom this years ago. I go, they're working on stuff. I hope they come up with a program where I could. Because right now, if I could go into my studio, turn on my whatever big thing it is, and sit down and have a conversation with my just now recently deceased grandparents from when I was in my early 40s, it would be amazing to me if I could have digitized them. It would have
I could sit there and talk to my grandfather, bro, or Skeet again.
Just to see him, like in your mind that it's not really him. It is really him. It's him from the past. So you have to look at it as if he's time traveling from the past. It's not like he's there in the flesh and you can hug him and his spirit's there. But every bit of memory that his spirit contained while he was having a human experience on this planet is contained into that emotion. And then that way you could actually speak with him. And Jimmy, I've heard you talk about your granddad, and I would have to come in there and talk with him too. I mean, it sounds cool.
Yeah, exactly. And likewise with your guys' grandfather.
It would be cool.
Thanks for granddad.
My grandfather was a neat guy. No doubt about it.
Oh, same.
Your grandpa and my grandpa have a conversation.
But sometimes when you want to feel a little bit, I mean, I know we're all tough and we make jokes and we but even if you're just in your kitchen and you turn the program on and your door's open, and you're like, Grandpa, are you hungry today? And he'll go, no, not right now. You're actually talking with the past. And I think that is, we have memories, but to be able to bring memories alive, where he'll be like, oh, I remember when you and your dad were down by that canal and your mother told him not to go near it and he dropped you, fell in. You remember that? I'm like, oh, I do remember that. You're talking to memories. And I find that intriguing. I would digitize myself for my family.
I think it's hard because
I would digitize you guys. I go like, Jimmy, come on.
Like, I think it would be cool at first, but I think the lack of like being able to actually see, feel, and touch them and like get in the car with them and have those memories would start to affect you. So I think it would be cool at first for a little while. And then after a while, you'd be like, okay, this is cool and all, but it's like texting a droid. Like, it's like texting on your phone to an imaginary person that's an AI just talking back to you. But
here's the thing. It's not, here's what's cool about it.
Like, I get that you see them, but
it's not an AI. It's everything that they answered. When they go through these hundreds of questions, it takes like 2 or 3 days to get through their question.
Oh, I imagine it would take forever because you could keep adding stuff. You could apologize to people from beyond the grave, being like, I'm sorry I made you get naked and sit on my lap. I was a terrible father.
Here's what's funny though. Here's what's funny. I'm gonna just not respond to that comment. Here's what's funny. If you remember the movie The Time Machine.
Yeah,
and
sure.
when he goes and he goes fast forwards into the future. If you remember when he goes to the library, he is met by an AI replica of the historian that once ran the library. And it's literally what did they call the rooms on Star Trek when
holodeck?
Like a holodeck. Yeah. It was like a hologram image of the historian that ran the actual library. So imagine what?
Don't worry, Brittany.
Jim, dude.
Anyway. So it's really interesting to me that they wrote about this. Now it's like it's actually coming into fruition. Like, it's actually coming true. But they wrote about this. He wrote about this as in The Time Machine, of that we would be able to have holograms of ourselves in the future as a replica of ourselves, though we're no longer present or alive.
Well, now I got to touch on something because I noticed that someone said beginner's guide said you're thinking, what about people who are like molesters? Well, first of all, we're in the early stages of digitizing, right? There's going to be guidelines. They're not gonna put on rapists, child molesters, sex traffickers, murderers. They're not doing anything like that. They're people of usually people of stature or value, or if you want to pay to have it done, you'll obviously do a background check, etc. I've already read a lot of that. There's going to be stipulations. It's not everybody in the entire world gets to do it. You know what I mean? That's number one. Number two, they're right now one of the main people that I was reading that they're digitizing, and they have millions of things to digitize with him, is Einstein. So Einstein's going to be able to teach class as Einstein with his voice and his image to large classrooms about all the stuff he did, like bending time and physics. Imagine being able to watch a hologram of Einstein instead of reading about him in a book or looking at his text. And he walks out and he goes, hello, I'm Einstein. And talk about it. When I was a child, you'll see him as a kid, walk through how he started, how he was a factory worker. His brain was so advanced. He just thought of things. That's one of the things. That's where they're starting this with. And so William Shatner's doing it because he was a famous actor. They're going to put a lot of people that are in there, but he was just one of the ones that clearly
famous over actor.
Yeah, very like I think
hey now
saw the
I think
appear from the grave. Yeah, I know. Because he was a stage actor. But when he became TJ Hooker, he was a little better.
They better do one of Christopher Walken. I would love to have that guy forever, just Christopher Walken.
And then earlier on to Seth's talking his condolences to Michelle. Yes. Michelle's said if she could speak to her dad again, it would be great. She said she heard his voice for the first time since he died today. Man, if I could talk to him.
I'm sorry, Michelle. Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Losing someone, that's horrible. That's horrible. But just imagine if you need that, it's there. I'm not saying that it's going to replace the human element, but I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, it's like when you lose somebody, you hold on to their voicemail, like their last voicemail.
Absolutely.
Right? And you play it and you play it and you play it because it's just like, like mom knows we have one that it's like so genuine. It's like we listen to it. We're like, yeah, like that's
I look back
hold on to that person.
I have stored of people who have now since passed, and I listen to them, and I listen to them talk, and it's it's like our uncles and things like that. It was just neat to hear them talk and hear that stuff.
Yeah.
Like they did that In the Pit thing for me when I was young, that movie, and Skeet has a lot of parts in there, and Skeet's been gone for a long time, and
neat
I
to hear
watched it a few nights ago, and I got choked up, and you kind of forget voices and body, what I mean, just in general, just the way they talk, the way they moved, and seeing all that just brought it all back,
Yeah. After 15 years, my dad's still in my contacts on my phone. I just can't bring myself to erase it.
Exactly.
No.
It was funny. My mom, I was sitting probably like 2-3 months after he died, and my phone rings, and I look and it says "Dad." I picked it up and I was like, "Hello?" It was my mom calling from my dad's old phone because she couldn't find hers. And I'm like, "You scared the fucking pants off me." I was like, "Did you forget to tell me something?"
Let's talk for a second, because
That's
working.
actually a thing.
They're working on a phone right now where you'll be able to talk to supernatural energy, your loved ones.
Yep.
They are completely right now, not a joke, not hocus pocus. They're called soul phones, and they're going to work on contacting another energy level, because we already know that it's there. You can tell.
The University of Arizona is already starting to master it. They've already proven a good part of it.
That exists. Anybody knows that.
How do you find this energy is the question.
Well, let's just put it this way. We're working on
frequency.
And, you've heard Brett say it before. We're working on 30-plus-year-old technology right now that we think is awesome. Wow, it recognizes my face and my fingerprint, man. They're 30 years ahead in technology, what they're doing. So they already might know how to get into different frequency channels. We understand that it's when you hear ghosts, everybody thinks of a mist that walks around, floats around Earth. It's actually an energy level on a different frequency. We do know that there's other frequencies. We have received things that have come in that we have no idea where or how to explain it, for one. And so we know it's frequency. They may know things we don't know, but it's the beginning stages. But if we were to time travel and go back, if Jeff and I were to go back and sit with our great-grandparents, and we told them what we were doing now, what we had in our, man, you can look up this and that, and you can, and he'd be like, they'd be like, oh, shut.
You don't even have flying cars yet?
Yeah, exactly.
Here,
what's wrong? There's no airport. None of that was back then.
I'm going to add a couple of things to what Troy was just saying. So Roswell, right, after the incident, and in 1952 and 51, when Area 51 was built and established, they actually had fingerprinting software at that time for you to be able to access to get into the area. Okay. It was already done.
That for a long time.
Yeah, that was already done. However, so during the era of when we switched from analog to digitizing, so there's frequencies, and there's like over, don't quote me, but it's like over, I think it's like 600 different frequencies that play throughout the atmosphere all day long, because even the color of your clothes are putting off a frequency. Okay. So we're dealing with several different frequencies within our own like energy space at all the times. And our bodies are constantly vibrating because of such. And what happens is that when we were using analog software to basically download and collect information, or even to collect white noise or record in any space, when it was analog driven, the analog is literally reading directly right to the tape, the thread of whatever it's recording to. And there's no buffers. It's not digitizing into numbers. It's not eliminating with any filters. So over a couple of spans of years, it was becoming annoying, especially as you're moving forward with like office meetings and you needed to record videotape, whatever the case was. There were too many frequencies being picked up at one time, thus causing the EVP effect, the electronic voice phenomenon. And the reason why
wasn't that Thomas Edison?
Yes, he was the first to collect it.
He was the one to start doing that. He was the one to start believing in that. And I read where they were shutting him down. They didn't want him involved in that stuff.
They did it to several. Nikola Tesla was also another one.
Yeah, and they shut all that down, Jimmy. I was trying to think about that the other day. Our government at that time said, well, we're not messing with this. You're going to cancel it right now. So they were probably achieving things back then that we should already be doing. But you can't let the owner get better than the slaves, as you put it. Go ahead.
Pretty much. The Thomas Edison was the first to actually create a recorder after documenting an EVP that he had heard. So he actually created a recorder so that he could document EVPs, because he found it fascinating that he was picking up voices within different frequencies and ranges that nobody should be picking up. Again, analog. So when we moved into digital, like digital recorders, digital phones, digital everything, we moved away from analog, Inside the digitized cell phones and recorders, it breaks things down into numbers. And those numbers are a filtration. And that filtration filters out all the unwanted noise and focuses solely on the noise talking currently, which would be us. We're the most prominent noise. We're the loudest frequency. So its job is to separate all the background noise, all the other frequencies that don't matter, and only provide you the recorded voice that's prominent, giving the highest range frequency in the room, which would be us. But by doing so, we're eliminating the frequency ranges in which the supernatural realm lives alongside us. So we're actually closing them out from speaking to us. So instead of being open to it, we're closing them out and pushing them away. So that's why if you're driving around in some of our older vehicles, like anything before like 2006, a lot of times people will be like, I was driving and I heard my name come through, or someone say hello to me through my radio. That's because that's the old analog systems still in our old radio systems in our cars. When everything moved to digitized softwares, everything was meant to filter out frequencies that were not needed. So we went from like 600 to 15 in a matter of 1 second. And we've now eliminated talking to the spiritual plane. So the soul phone went back to dating and basically going through each frequency to figure out which one is the closest to the spiritual plane in which we live next to. And that's how the soul phone works, is going back through the frequency levels with experts. And then they brought in some of the most like highest ranked mediums that work in the government to literally help them identify and clarify for certain that these are in fact spirits talking through this one frequency versus the other. And these are trained professionals from the government who literally are sent out to go find missing people or bodies.
Well, you have to understand that there's some reality to most everything that they're doing now. Obviously, a lot of that stuff is on the down low because, and Jeff and I have talked about this, you know, religion being a government, you fucking take that whole faith system away from an entire human population you're trying to control. Brittany, I hope you look like you fucked up something real bad. You would lose that. That's all right. Go set him free. As you, he's crawling around there. As you get suppressed from that, like you have to look at it like an adult. Like, you know, there's things that Jeff knows and does, and that he keeps that he's not releasing to Ruby yet. She's not old enough to understand, right?
Yep.
So in order to keep her guidelines, to keep her from being scared, or to keep her aware, he releases the amount of information. And you have to look at us, population, as compared to what they're doing. And if, you know, they're dealing with higher end mediums or even scholars or people like Tesla.
They're hiring everybody.
Or Einstein. Those people are high functioning. They're adapting in different ways. Dan. Yeah, that's funny.
I didn't. Spider's alive. You're welcome.
So with all that,
on impact, he didn't survive.
I was going to say,
let Troy finish.
I'm going to jump back too because Jim Brinkley said, so what's your take on X-Files? I'm just going back because I'm tying it all in. I think the X-Files was exactly what they had in the government. I think a lot of that was leaked. I think they were showing a lot of things on there that's not far-fetched. And I just find it interesting that we've been creating movies with these weird aliens or monsters or demons for long, long periods of time. And where do you think that imagination comes from? You can't imagine anything that pretty much hasn't already been done or attempted anyways, when you're talking about movies. So, I mean, you can imagine right now, I'm imagining flying to the moon, but the only reason I can imagine that is because I was told by a television that we went to the moon and we saw them going there. So we know, we could ride in a rocket. But if we had no knowledge of that in the old West, they wouldn't understand what a rocket is. They wouldn't go, man, you can light this fire and then blow it, because there was no documentation of making rockets or fuel propelled engines, motors, etc. So, which I never could understand. A motor does not take fuel, but an engine does. And so we have engines in cars, but they're always called a motor. It's interesting, right? Something weird about that just popped in my head. But at the end of the day, all that stuff didn't exist. So now we're going further into stuff that we think is not happening. Like, I remember going to school, and my father was an IBMer, and he would be doing these screen calls back and forth with his staff and people or whatever. And you would talk about that at school, like, oh, yeah, you're watching Time Cop. I'm like, he was just sitting in the bedroom doing it. Like, they were having face-to-face video conference calls that was just not allowed around to the general public. For one, they couldn't afford the techtechnology.
Oh yeah, video phones are ridiculously expensive back. They've been
They
around
had,
since,
like, these video
the
things. I remember
70s.
my dad talking to guys in Tokyo, and they're talking. I'm like, wow. And I tell someone, oh man, my dad was on. They're like, yeah, well, fuck you. You know what I mean?
There's probably a 40-minute
Or
delay
your dad
on
works
each
for
word.
Walmart, doesn't know how that works. So I don't want to tell you. I just happen to see it. Which is why we weren't doomsdayers. We didn't collect a bunch of canned corn when the Y2K project happened, because when anybody worked in the tech field understood how that was going to go.
I have a video of me on
Yeah.
Y2K walking around Phoenix with like a folding AK slung over my back, my sidearm. Because my boss made us stay at work to protect everything that night. Of course, he didn't fucking stay, but whatever. So me and my buddy Scott stayed around and smoked weed and ate shit and waited for the world to end. So right around midnight, we're like, let's go outside and walk around. So we did.
Everybody's microwave worked the next day. It was funny.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Y2K.
So Jim, you said every idea comes from somewhere. 100%. And I'll tell you some truth they talked about, and I read it. And we read it. They have to when you're making a movie about the military or what they do represent or how they do it or whatever kind of tech stuff. There's some things where you have to get approval from the United States government to use that. Like maybe you have too much information and we don't want you to show people how to create this type of bomb in the movie, or we don't want you to show so they have to approve what you can and can't do. You know what I mean? Like you can make stuff up, but you can't see. You know what I'm saying? So there's approval there too. So who knows what they're doing? But a spirit phone or a soul phone or whatever they want to. Soul phone sounds like that's really
That's
terrible.
what it's called. That's the
is it going to come in
it's called
there?
soul
Is it
phone.
purple velvet? It just reminds me of the movie Soul Plane. That's
what I kept thinking too. Every time you said soul phone, it was like it's Snoop the Spot.
That's what I thought. Snoop Dogg. I go, the soul phone. Look at this. It's purple velvet.
It bounces up and down like the Soul Plane does. Dude,
Exactly.
when I think of it, I think of like those like those plastic Disney phones with all like the pre-put in responses. Like
hi, this is Minnie.
Hi, kids. It's Mickey. Brush your teeth.
We know you don't have a soul, Dan. We know you don't have a soul.
Well, I can tell you that.
Are you a ginger?
I think we do have those frequencies around us. We are a frequency. I've often heard it quite a bit. I also agree with it. I think we're all spiritual beings experience human experience. I don't think we're humans experiencing supernatural. I think we are supernatural beings and we're having a human experience. I truly believe that.
In the future, that'll be our new phone numbers, is our frequencies. Like, what's your frequency?
Right. And if you could keep
it could be.
If they haven't figured it out yet because of ethics, if you could keep the conscience of someone that's harvesting the soul, if you can keep that in something and you were able to contain that, I mean, that's the beginning and the end. Absolutely the beginning and the end.
I don't want to be like that. Don't leave me in a little box just to talk to me.
Can you imagine having a smartphone in like the 50s? Like you say, oh, it's more powerful than the most powerful computer in the world.
I know. And you can get a Walmart $29 smartphone and it's more
and it fits in the palm of your hand. You could charge it without wires.
Well, it's like, I know a lot of people hate Elon Musk or whatever, but he said you don't even really need to go to college. Why would you go to college to learn?
I love him.
Why would you go to college to learn something you can go to YouTube and learn anyways? There's doctors now teaching through YouTube, medical procedures, how to use robots for free. So why would you pay $200,000 to go to school is what he was saying. He goes, because it's making this and this and this money. And that's what he says.
Yep. Well, what I want.
And I'll tell you what, if I had his brain level and his money, I'd be testing shit every day too.
Oh, he's
like, Jeff,
brilliant.
let's go launch this rocket to the moon and see if we can get some rock music going up there.
People don't like Elon Musk because they literally know he could take over if he wanted to, take over the world. That man's so smart, it's ridiculous.
He does a lot of weird shit. I just like that countries banned his free Wi-Fi.
Smart people are extremely eccentric and they can do weird things. So it's okay.
But
anyway, what I wanted to say really fast in regards to what Jim was saying earlier, there is truth to that because the Close Encounters of the Fourth Kind was actually leaked documentation to Spielberg. And I know this from inside people that worked with Spielberg on that film and helped with that film with Jalen Hynek. It was actually leaked government information that was provided to him specifically to make this film.
Saw that, Michael.
And And Spielberg was like, and you're sure I'm okay with making this? They said yes. And that is why J. Allen Hynek made a cameo in the film during the contact scene, because they were heavily involved with this. And the gentleman who played the French scientist, was an actual representation of the scientist in which was working on the program in the government at the time. It was actual leaked documentation.
What are you talking about? The fourth kind? Are you talking
Close
about?
Encounters.
No. The original Close Encounters
with Richard Dreyfuss
by Steven
and
Spielberg.
Of the third kind.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
That's right.
Sorry. Fourth Kind was the one from Nome. That's not true at all.
Did you really do that with the mashed potatoes, though? I really want to know. Make the little devil's tower.
I don't know. All I know is that
this means something.
The underlining message and what they were doing in communication, getting information back and receiving abductees back, was all genuine information from the government that was provided to him needed to be in that film. That's why Jay actually made an appearance in the film, because he was heavily involved. Yeah. But cool fact, some of the names of, like, if you pay attention to the names of when they're being retrieved back and the pilots are giving their name, those were actual pilots that were abducted and brought back and had missing time. Those were genuinely named. Those were actual individuals giving, like, not that they were actors portraying the individuals, but the names given when they said name and they were identifying the ones that were named coming back from the ship. Those were actual people.
Did they give their whole name? Was it just like Bob?
No, whole names. Whole names. You can look up their stories. Yeah, no, whole names.
There was a guy named Bob.
I don't know how you get in it.
So it was cool. It was really cool. You guys just don't appreciate my history stuff for you.
If the next guy's name is John,
keeping it all to myself. I'm gonna keep my info to myself from now on. Are you gonna show Dan? Oh my God, he's got a lightsaber.
Yeah,
May the
Dan.
force be with
Wait,
you.
where's that lightsaber coming from, Dan?
He wanted to do that for May the 4th be with you.
I love it.
Okay.
Word. I like it.
Pretty good.
That's awesome,
I'm
Dan.
still alive, Dan. I'm surprised you're still
I
alive.
bought a Star Wars scrub cap for work, and I'm not even working.
Yeah, because Jeff's a major fan of Star Wars. I do.
I like this part. Maybe.
I know.
Oh boy. We're gonna see Dan get punched on live stream.
Dan's good. Yes, I do. I think the Matrix could be a very big possibility. Absolutely. Basically what it was, keeping your conscience in the system. Absolutely. I'll catch up.
Yeah, for sure. I just don't know if I'd like that. Just let me be free. Please let me be free. If there's a way, do not save me like that. Just don't do that. Just let me go.
You're happy being used as a human battery?
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know that you can. I don't know that you are like in case like where you're not free, because your conscience is able to do whatever it wants. So you're really trapping an immortal body. So if you were like living in your supernatural self or your energy self, whatever you want to call it, your frequency, I could be like close my eyes for a minute, wake up, and be sitting next to Jimmy. Yo, man, what's going on?
That's just
it's really limited in your skin sack. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's just like the Mutter Museum has Einstein's brain. So I wonder if they're like going through his brain and hooking up to circuits to be able to retrieve information for this.
It's a pretty scary thing right now. I know a lot of people use it for stuff, and I think it's really neat. I've looked at some of it, but you're absolutely right. I think that's more dangerous right there than nuclear warfare, and I agree with a few people, including Elon, on that.
Elon Musk has actually stopped
war games since the 50s, I think.
Yeah,
you know, the original AIs, because they run war scenarios over and over and over.
Well, Elon Musk actually stopped doing production on AI robots because he said we need to know the systems better. We need to understand them better.
I know that's what he was saying.
Mm-hmm. And he said, I made my robot, but I'm slowing it down. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I don't want to become self-aware.
So really, Jeff, think about what you said.
They're becoming self-aware.
Think about what I said. When I said, if we go back to what we're looking at, they're 30 years ahead, right? So at the time, Skynet was no big deal. Now we're close to living to what Skynet was starting to be, right? But when we saw the movie, we're like, wow, man, I bet in 2050 it'll be like that, or 2020. You know, like Space Odyssey 2001 was a fucking, whoa, it's in the future, remember? Yeah. So imagine now Skynet from the 80s to 2023. And you know what else was a good movie? One of the best ever made, Blade Runner, the original.
I love Blade Runner, dude. Love.
And then the way they tied it in with the second one, where humans, those androids began to breed, and it talked about how we were just older sets of droids, basically made up of fluid and our energy levels. I thought it was fucking rad, dude. And he was a skin chaser. And then the second one was a droid that was a skin chaser. And that to me is just crazy, dude.
Yeah. Seth, have you ever seen the Boston Robotics website? There's some scary ass shit walking around on there. There's robots that you can't knock over no matter how hard you try. You ever seen those? You like push them down and they get right back up.
Oh, I've seen those videos.
Yeah, and they're going to send them at you to fucking burn your house down and kill you when they decide to send those out. Exactly. Right. That's what I'm trying to say. So when Jeff and I were in the 80s watching fucking Terminator for the first time, yeah, it was cool. He's a robot. Man, it's cool, scary. Woo!
He had cool catchphrases.
Where they're starting that shit for real. So that just shows you that idea. Either one came from the future. So for someone to actually write like that, you have to have some knowledge and technology to do it that close. That's just how I feel.
Oh, the concept is so cool that destroying the first Terminator led to the first Terminator because they left like a little piece of circuitry. And they like, what did they do? What do they call it? When they reproduce something, back trace. I can't remember. I'm stoned.
You see that? The main guy that actually helped make AI said it's evolving way too fast, and now he's scared of me.
Maybe he is AI. Yeah, definitely check it out. Boston Robotics. They're probably, one of the lead technologists as far as robotics go, and they built some crazy shit that's like scary. It was like remember the first RoboCop before RoboCop, the one that they showed in the beginning that he like fought at the end or whatever. Isn't that RoboCop?
Yes.
It was like a huge robot fucking.
Yeah, he fought him in the end. Yep. Then it was like the first one. Yep.
That's it, man. That's
what I'm saying is that all that we're fun and games. We're talking about that, but like that's a thing that you got to really think about. It's funny to me that there was in those movies and in those futures there really wasn't any type of religion. All that had been gone. It was all this, and they're coming back. They're taking over the world. This major government company was eliminating the population.
Yeah, except for Logan's Run when they made everybody die on their 30th birthday. You ever see that when you were a kid?
Logan's Run?
Yeah.
I don't remember if I saw that or not now.
Oh, you must have. It was rad, dude. On your 30th birthday, you go to this big stadium where you just get fucking whisked away and you're done.
I have to watch that. I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, dude. It's a good one.
I don't think I saw that. Logan's Run. I'm gonna look. I've heard of it.
They might have remade it.
Artificial intelligence. One last thing on that. It can get into your technology and it can be smarter than you. It can spend all your money, shut you out of your computer. It can do stuff like that. So that's a problem. We need to
reverse engineering. Thank you, Michael. That's exactly what I was trying to get to.
Yeah, like Bill Gates. Call him Skynet. He wants to kill. He thinks he's better than everybody.
He wants to get rid of like half the population. I don't trust him.
Gets rid of all those people.
Yeah, Boston Dynamics now because it was bought out, Seth.
Virus. I'm sorry. What happened? I'm just saying. Don't trust people these days, folks. Don't trust them.
All right. Well, we are at the tippity top here.
I knew I would get Jeff with that one.
Oh my God. This is my quick retort to that.
I love it.
If people think that the US government or Bill Gates or anybody in the United States started the virus, why did it come from China and Singapore? Did they know it was going to make it here? Did they predict it? That's the thing.
You know what I will say? I will say really quick.
China, though, isn't that where his place is? It's in Wuhan, isn't it?
Yeah, he did buy that.
Bill Gates?
Did buy that. That is
No.
Bill Gates' property. That is his lab.
Bill Gates' property is here. Because in 2015, he did
First of all, the Chinese would never let an American own a fucking bioweapons lab in their country. They're tight as shit. No, but we'll have this conversation another day. I'll come prepared next week.
He did 2015.
I wasn't ready with my facts. I only had a few good ones.
Fact check. Fact check. Fact check us.
Well, I live on factcheck.com and Snopes is the bomb.
Watch that documentary he did. It's called Virus in 2015.
Yeah, he did.
Well,
he did it. He's in it. And in the end, he goes, "Listen,
Fauci's in it
right
too."
camera, he says, "It's not if, it's when." And then it just went to credits, meaning
Fauci
and
was in that too.
He did that whole thing in 2015. So
Wait, you're saying Bill Gates made a movie called Virus?
No, Bill Gates did he was involved in a documentary called Virus in 2015. It's on Netflix.
Yes.
And he was interviewed and he was showing, like, he had this chart. And he was talking about how these things can spread. They grab this, kill this one, and they turn to 3 to 4 and wipe out the body. He was explaining all of that. And then at the very end of the documentary, in 15, he says, he looked right at the camera. He said, "I'm sorry, it's not if, it's when." And they cut right to credit.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he released a virus.
I didn't say he released a virus. I didn't say that.
He didn't. No, but he funds and donates money to the Wuhan lab.
I need to fact check that. Because I've never heard that, but I definitely need to fact check it. I will get back to you on that one.
Bill Gates is an interesting character, but he does get out and say a lot of stuff about things that you have to wonder. He does find himself to be an elitist.
Oh, he is an elitist. So is every rich prick in the world.
All I'm gonna say is, even on fact check, Jeff, I love your fact check and Snopes, but you have to understand there are upper levels above most governments because I'm actively involved in a lot of these conversations.
They do whatever they want to do.
So how did the information get out?
Hold on a second. Well, of course, there's leaks. Hold on, there are leaks, but you have to remember, like, I always have this fight with people that actually love and trust their government. That's your mistake.
Oh, I hate the government.
I know. What I'm saying is they're going to only give you the information they want you to have. So when a leak happens, they want that leak to happen for a reason. When something comes out, they want it to happen for a reason.
Of course.
So even on fact checks, they're not. Well, no, but you also can't believe everything either. And when fact checks, not all fact checks are correct either, because fact check me on a mermaid because I was offensive to the mermaid community. So I think we need to think about this for a second.
What, factcheck.com did?
Yes. So I really think we all need to just rethink about how we fact checked on mermaids on a mermaid video that we all know isn't real. But they had to fact check me and tell me that I was offending the mermaid community.
Well, maybe you are. I identify
that I shouldn't be passing this video around, just so everyone knows. So I'm just saying, even fact check can be wrong. We may never know the real truth. Right. But there are shady business people who have agendas. So that's all I'm going to say.
Trust me, any billionaire in the world is guaranteed to be a giant piece of shit.
100%.
I said it. You know why? Because they have enough money to buy their way out of anything.
They start when they're thousandaires.
Well, of course.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. Thousandaires. Yes, exactly.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure gambling made me a millionaire, but I used to be a billionaire.
That's all my input is. Like, I just don't trust any of it. I mean,
I don't trust any of it either. But I especially don't trust. Like, I'll read any article. I'm always open-minded, but I won't read it from any heavily partisan side. Not the left, not. But
that's everybody now. That's like, I mean, honestly, in journalism,
mitigate it.
But even in journalism,
on anywhere anymore.
Journalism's ridiculous.
But the problem is, though, is like it makes me mad with journalism because we were supposed to be biased. Like we were not supposed to be. We were supposed to be neutral, right down the center. Unbiased, we're not taking any side. Yeah, I'm sorry, unbiased. And we were just literally supposed to get the facts, the information, and present it. That's journalism at its finest.
Because I'm thinking about about that.
But I mean, that's the thing. But now it's completely the other way around. I don't think I've met a journalist except for the old school journalists that don't have an agenda even within what they're writing.
Everybody's got an agenda,
come on. But it never used to be that way.
It could be mitigated by taking a bunch of the middle of the road from both sides and kind of seeing what that is. Because you're never going to get the straight answer from this, and you're never going to get the straight answer from that. But, you'll get the straightest answer right here from both sides of the middle. You know what I mean? People who are sensible. And trust me, there's plenty of conspiracies in the world. You know why I know? Because somebody talked.
Because they're fact checked?
That's the big one. I mean, think about how many people.
I would believe that. Somebody spoke. Yep, somebody said
you're right.
You know, and I mean, look at, like, I don't believe that 9/11 was some kind of crazy conspiracy. I think we knew. But I think that the tens of thousands of people that it would have taken to pull off something of that size, some idiot would have been like, I'm going to talk. Whether it's for fucking conscience, financial gain, whatever. somebody's opening their fucking mouth.
That's why we have whistleblowers. I mean, thank God for some of those
and
whistleblowers.
I think whistleblowers are treated too harshly sometimes. If they blow the whistle on something that is being held back from us purposefully, that's important, they should be fucking given a ticker tape parade.
Mm-hmm. But that's not going to happen, because if the upper guys don't want that information getting out and you decide to blow that whistle,
and
you're not going to exist anymore. That's
why they discredit Julian Assange and Edward Snowden and what the hell's her name, Chelsea Manning. They go so far out of their way to make these people look like nuts. They were crazy the whole time. That's how they do it. They don't kill them because it's too obvious. So they discredit them. It's information war. Exactly.
There's a lot of suicides in a lot of the fields that happen.
Oh, I think so too. I think people get suicided, and I think that's an easy way, to make it go away. Oh, they were so distraught over spilling all these secrets that they
ended their own life. Yeah.
It's sad.
They unlived themselves. Yeah, exactly. That's
I don't know if the dirty tricks department of the government is still like they were in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, but there's some shady ass shit going on in the intelligence community. Everything from MK Ultra to fucking, attempted assassinations of world leaders. And this is all fact.
My last word is you can't control an intelligent nation.
Absolutely.
That's all I'm going to say. So that's how they get you.
So that's why you got to stay right in the middle. Folks, we're at 1:11. I'm going to go ahead at 1 hour and 11 minutes and cut this, because I can tell that Jimmy's hungry and it's getting a little hot in here.
No, it's not. Just good people.
But I really love seeing everybody. Thanks for coming in and talking to us. And we're going to cut out and come again and say hello. And we'll try to be back as many times as we can. Great show tonight, guys. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for joining us. And we are going to see you next week.